What's up, guys? Mickle here, and the court cases just keep on coming, but the good news is Ripple cannot stop winning. In this video, I want to talk about a court case Ripple just won big that is going to have huge implications for XRP going forward. Guys, a couple months ago, I predicted that Ripple would see more cases, but because XRP was deemed to be not a security by Judge Torres, that most of these cases would fall by the wayside and only confirm Judge Torres' ruling. Guys, this is exactly what we saw here. This is huge for XRP going forward. I also want to show you an old interview that was just leaked. As far as I can tell, almost no one has seen this Brad Garlinghouse interview before, and he actually talks about some major institutional partnerships I don't think we ever heard about. Guys, you are definitely not going to want to miss this. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. These two things really do mean so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I wanted to start out this video and just quickly bring this to your attention because this is something I am extremely excited about, and that is the lending and borrowing protocol being brought to the XRP ledger. Guys, this is going to bring native DeFi to the XRP ledger ecosystem and give you ways to earn a yield on your XRP. This is something I am extremely excited for, something I believe the XRP ledger has been lacking, and just a further example that the XRP that you and I own gets more and more powerful every single day. I think a lot of people forget that not only is XRP a deflationary asset, not only is XRP sound money, but it's also constantly getting stronger and more powerful. Guys, what we are seeing right now is a significant step in making the XRP ledger a better future financial system and more integrated with a lot of the DeFi capabilities it has lacked. Guys, institutions are yet to step into DeFi, and what the XRP ledger is doing is positioning itself to be the premier chain for institutional DeFi. With things like lending and borrowing coupled with other things like decentralized ID, we are going to see a way for institutions to finally step into the cryptocurrency market in a massive way. Guys, Ripple having a board of directors that knows how to onboard major institutions along with a technology like the XRP ledger that is fast and efficient couples perfectly for institutions being able to use the compliance standards of decentralized ID and then fully take advantage of features like lending and borrowing. Guys, super exciting to see this happening. And just another example of development continuing to happen on the XRP ledger and the investment you and I own getting more powerful every single day. I want to move on now, though, and get into the Brad Garlinghouse interview that I have never seen before because, guys, whenever there's an interview that I have never seen, I know this thing has to be pretty uncirculated. I feel like at this point, I have seen most of Brad Garlinghouse's interviews at one point or another, but for some reason, this one was just hidden. Guys, this is one of the more fascinating interviews I have seen from Brad Garlinghouse because he directly talks about the fact that Ripple right now is working with 3 of the 5 major financial institutions in the entire world. And guys, it's important to note that this interview actually took place in 2018. But what you'll notice is all the things he is saying back then are fully applicable now. The other very fascinating thing is that this interview took place when XRP was up at $3. Guys, this is a fascinating interview, and in my opinion, really foreshadows what I believe is probably going to be right around the corner as this case ends, as Ripple can once again make these financial institution partnerships available to the public. Guys, I believe we are right around the corner from something extremely special for the XRP community, and the fact that these are the conversations Brad Garlinghouse was having in 2018 only lets me know that what has been built in the background that we are not privy to is probably absolutely incredible. And when this case is over, I have a feeling we are going to see a string of massive announcements from the institutions that have been working with Ripple. They just haven't told you about it. Listen up to this.
You know, let me just say up front, you're an instant billionaire here over the past year, aren't you, because of this Ripple?
Well, Liz, it's certainly been an exciting year, there's no question, and I think the performance of XRP is really just a reflection of the problem it's solving, and solving a real problem at scale. And so the value that's been created, I think, is all about solving a real problem and solving it at scale, and I'm happy to talk more about that.
Well, what's going on here? It's down more than 20% over the past 24 hours. We know that Coinbase said we're not in this yet, but there are a whole bunch of issues at play, and there are people who own this now. They looked at it and said, well, geez, It's about $3 or so. It's much less expensive, certainly, than Bitcoin, which is at thousands and thousands of dollars. So tell me, why is it dropping?
Well, I think over the last 30 days, XRP is up over 1,000%, so 10x. And so I think what you're seeing is, there is a lot of volatility in the digital asset market broadly, and certainly that's true in the Bitcoin market. It's been true for XRP. And I think it's because these markets are very nascent. This is still the earliest innings of the creation of what I think is really going to be a new asset category. And that asset category, I'll keep going back to, it's about real utility solving a real problem. For Ripple, that's using XRP to solve a global payments problem. There's literally $27 trillion of money parked around the world between banks in order for them to settle payments between themselves. Using a digital asset like XRP, the speed of that can be vastly faster and vastly less expensive. Even compared to Bitcoin, XRP is 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times less expensive.
Okay, but let's get to sort of the news of the day and the movement in it. Again, obviously these things are extraordinarily volatile. We're well off 19,000, which was around where the high was for Bitcoin. But you did start with some good news over the past couple of days, and that was the top 3 money transfer sites had agreed and said, we're in. We will use the XRP. We will do this for cross-border transfers. Can you reveal the 3 names of these money transfer companies that have partnered with you guys?
Unlike, I think, some in the crypto community, Ripple has really been very proactive in working with financial institutions,
okay,
working
but the
with
names,
banks,
so that I think that would help if you were sort of transparent about the names.
Well, part of working with those companies is we announce when they're ready to announce. There are a lot of rumors about the we are working with American Express today, for example. There were a lot of rumors about that had leaked out of American Express. We didn't confirm that until American Express was ready to confirm that, which we made public in, I think, November. So we've publicly shared we are working with 3 out of the 5 largest in the world. We'll publicly, make those announcements with those customers when they're ready.
Are you concerned about the frantic froth around everything related to the word Bitcoin, the word blockchain? We're thinking of just a couple of weeks ago when a beverage company called Long Island Iced Tea Company just announced to the market, we're changing our name, we're changing, and I think the ticker changed in the last 24 hours, to blockchain, something related to blockchain. We're going into looking at blockchain as an opportunity. That stock, now, what used to be LTEA, Long Island Iced Tea, is now LBCC. I'm assuming the B and the CC have to do with blockchain, is down 20% today. And people have woken up and said, wait a minute, there wasn't really a meaningful change. Does that harm what you feel is a legitimate, and as you say, we're in the incipient early stages of something that could be very valuable?
I think there is no question that's harmful. I mean, I'm glad you asked about that because at the end of the day, we are creating a new category, and you see what I'll call bad actors out there doing things that are bad for the long-term value creation, the long-term solving real problems for real customers. Ripple has announced over 100 customers to work with today, and when I see some of these things happen, I think that's not good for the whole industry. Having thoughtful regulation and working with governments. We announced the fact that we're working with the Bank of England as an example. We announced some things we've done with the U.S. Fed and their faster payments task force. We're going to keep working with the system because I think the early days of Bitcoin were all about down with government and down with banks. Ripple has been, look, governments aren't going away, banks aren't going away. Let's work with the system to dramatically improve the way and reduce the friction for how money moves globally.
So guys, absolutely incredible interview right there. It's one of my favorites of Brad Garlinghouse, actually. I don't know why. It's just so cool to see how much more loosely he was able to talk about things back in the day. You can see that he just kind of throws things around like the partnership. And guys, some people think he was doing this to try to hype up XRP and he was making stuff up. Guys, I know Brad Garlinghouse. I know he does not make anything up. I know that he knows these big partnerships are there. He just can't make them public. So all the people who run around thinking that Brad Garlinghouse is just making this stuff up, I don't think they have any idea of who Brad really is. Guys, Brad knows a lot of things on the back end that I'm sure he would love to tell us. He just can't. And I thought this was just a great example of Brad wanting to say all this crazy stuff, but just biting his tongue and saying, just wait and find out. Now, guys, a lot of people have said, hey, we never waited and found it out. But what you'll notice is this interview was before the court case happened. The court case happened, and obviously they had to be hyper conservative since then. The SEC made an allegation that when Ripple makes an announcement, it pumps the price of XRP. So Ripple had to make sure they didn't make any announcements that pumped the price of XRP. Guys, pretty soon that limitation is going to be off Ripple, and I am so excited to see what happens. I guys want to finish this video off and just quickly go into the court case that we just saw end. I would get into Brad's entire post, but I'm not going to have time to do it. Just know there was essentially a person who put a class action lawsuit against Ripple for Brad saying he was long XRP and then selling XRP. Guys, the person who actually filed this class action lawsuit only had a couple $100 in XRP and didn't even lose $100. And just understand, Brad didn't even say anything wrong by saying he was long XRP and selling XRP. I'm long XRP and I've sold XRP before in the past. In fact, you can't actually sell XRP without being long XRP, because unless you're long XRP, how are you going to sell it? You can't sell XRP you don't have. So guys, this was a completely absurd case, but the case was structured in a way where they tried to call XRP a security. Just to be clear, Brad Garlinghouse confirms it right here. We once again got confirmation in this case that XRP is not a security, and almost every single charge in this case was dismissed against Ripple. There is one charge going through to jury, but guys, Brad Garlinghouse makes a point at the end of this to say, and lastly, regarding any misleading statements I made, I stand by what I said, and I am looking forward to shedding light on that during trial. Guys, if I was the person suing Brad Garlinghouse right now and going to trial, I would be extremely worried. I hope this dude faces legal repercussions for trying to do what he tried to do here. I feel like he's just a Bitcoin maxi or an SEC plant trying to slow Ripple down along the way. Once again, guys, just like the actual Ripple SEC case, this fired big time, and we are watching Ripple, a company that should have never been tied up in any of this, winning big because they were always on the right side of the law. They were always on the right side of history. And when this all gets wrapped up, that is going to be clear to everyone. We were the risk takers. We were the ones who knew about this before anyone else. We knew that Ripple was going to come out of this okay. And to be completely honest with you, guys, they came out of this better than I would have ever expected. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.